Okay, we're painting the guitar now, just picking out colors here and there, and what I'm doing is I'm selecting the colors and then airbrushing. With this particular program, you can only work within the selection. If you select something, you don't have to worry about painting outside of it because it's only going to go inside of it. Here, these are my layers. As you can see by my layers, when I airbrush my tones into the other colors, I don't put them on the same layer. I put a layer over the color, airbrush that, and then if I like it, I join them, which I just did. Because you select the color with your magic wand, for example, if that's what your program has, and you can only paint within that selection. There again, just like with the man, we have to draw our silhouettes. These sticks that make up the chair are so small that they can actually be painted with a brush, just the same paint layer, because I'll be able to separate them separately with the magic wand, and therefore airbrush the shadows underneath the chair a lot easier. Flip them in and out, see if everything's okay. I like to drop the layers apart, take a look at each one of them, flip them back in. It's totally amazing. Amazing what the computer can do. Okay, let's put him back on there. Alright, everything in separate layers. Make sure you paint the right layer. I won't even begin to tell you how many times I've done that wrong. You see me clipping these things in and out. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm checking, making sure that's the right layer. Okay, if you have actions with your paint program, here's a good example of how they're used. Now, I have mine set, I think F10 is expand. It expands the selection 2 pixels. And F7 is fill. Actions are handy in that you don't have to keep doing the same manipulations over and over and over. Okay, I'm getting on here. Add a little shadow to the chair in back of him. These little things mean so much when you look at the whole painting as a whole. Same thing with the legs underneath. As you see, now you see why I did them separately. Because I can select them separately. Of course, after you do this a while, you learn all the tricks. There's really not much you can't do. Keep adding some tones. What I learned to do is paint it till it's right. It's easy to overdo something. Okay, I like the looks of that. Let's select the seat. I'm going to put a little bit of shadow underneath him. On this particular paint program, or this particular photo manipulation program, if you want to call it that, it has a little thing where you can do a Command H and it hides the selection. Now what that does, it removes those little running ants while you're painting. I find that's somewhat of a distraction. And as long as there's a way to get around it, I use Command H. Now what I'm doing now is I'm taking the black line and dimming it down to 50% of what it was. Now this is fine, except it also influences lines of the face, so they don't stand out very much. Now it's very important that eyes be fairly dominant. So I can see now we're going to have to go in. Let's take a look at this. That's fine. Chairs 50%. Let's go ahead and merge those visibles. So now we have a chair that's colored. Now let's get the man. We dimmed his line down, his black line down to 50%. And we merged him. Now we're going to paint the eyes. When I dimmed his lines down to 50%, it also dimmed the eyes down, so we're going to have to put those back in a little bit. I don't mind. I love a challenge. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I've found that sometimes you'll do a drawing, you'll do a graphic or a brochure or something, and then something happens, lightning strikes, and you lose everything. Well, I have learned over the years doing this that every time you do it again, it gets better. There's always a reason. Okay, this is every time you cut and paste something in this program, when you paste it, it automatically makes itself a new layer, which I just love. I like everything in layers. It's all separate. You can deal with it a lot easier. And then you can merge them whenever you want. Now you see, I'm airbrushing in this great big hole that was left from me moving that eye. And to do that, I have to use the eyedropper, which picks up the color underneath it, as I work my way down. Because a gradient is not all the same color. Okay, here we go. Now I'm airbrushing the edges of what I just did to make it smooth. That's okay, looking good. Okay, now we need to add his eyebrows or eyelashes back in again. I'm going to touch it up there. Okay. Let's select the skin tone above that and paint that out. Oh, see that? Now that's what I mean. I think, truthfully, that looks better than it did before I did this. So I never argue with myself or the computer or the powers that be when it comes that I have to fix something. Now I think that being a good artist is not knowing how to draw and paint and this and that. It's really not. It's knowing how to fix stuff. Here again, when I merged these, I inadvertently left the guitar lines in with the man's finger lines, and there they are. But this is what I enjoy most, I guess, because by the time I'm doing this touch-up, the painting is done, and I like it enough to have continued on to do the touch-up. Okay, there he is. Chair in the middle. And the red, we can get rid of all the reds now. That leaves the man and his black line, and the chair in the black line, and the two are merged. Okay, I'm putting in a background now. Select something very, very nice. I like teals. My favorite colors are, I guess, a medium dark teal. So here we have. Let's edit it because I want to do a gradient, but I want the gradient to spread a little more in the middle before it gets to the dark. Alright, I put down another layer. Before I do this, let me go check. There it is. Because once you do this over him, well, you can always Command Z. Wish we had a Command Z of life. That'd be great. Well, that's going to do it. Contact me by the web page at the end of the program, and I'll be glad to get to know you and work with you on things, okay? My name's Rudy Young. Thank you all for watching.